Hello, and welcome to the race. Today I will be racing, as you can see, around the Monza, famous Monza circuit. As usual, I shall be doing 1/4 race distance against the game's AI. And I will be racing in the Mercedes as Lewis Hamilton. Okay, here we go. I don't tend to drive in this view, with this cockpit view, because it's very restrictive. You can't see from side to side. Even a driver can turn their head and see from side to side, but it's very difficult to see either side when you're in cockpit view. So I prefer to be just above, like this. Okay. Now we've got that really nasty corner coming up. I've got to be very, very careful. Oh my word, look at that. Up to second place. How did that happen? Well, I think I'm behind my teammate. Another tight chicane coming up. Now this is one of those corners that's really dodgy, because you've got the gravel trap is right there, and this is the other one. So I can't remember the names of those two corners. Oh my word, look, I've got speed on him now. And my teammate. Oh, I didn't feel brave enough to go for it there. Oh no. Oh dear. It's lucky that wasn't real grass. But it's lost all my momentum, so I've got Albon now catching me fast. And I didn't do the that last corner. What's the name of that last corner? I can't remember it. It's both Red Bulls right behind me there. See, these tight chicanes I find relatively simple. They should be really, really difficult. They're only difficult on the first lap. Now, these two corners I don't like. Is this Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2? Is that what they're called? Maybe that's Lesmo 1. This is Lesmo 1. Gosh, see? So easy. So easy to go off there. I've gone off there when racing my son, as I've mentioned before. I do quite a lot in this game. So frustrating. Oh, nearly lost it there. Variante Alta, that's the name of another. God, I messed that up. Another name of a corner, isn't it? Variante Alta. I can't remember which one. Despite the fact that I've been watching this Grand Prix every year for about the last 40 years. The Italian Grand Prix, Italy basically, is the only one of only two countries to have hosted a Grand Prix in every single World Championship year. The other country being Great Britain. Monza has hosted more Grand Prix than any other circuit in the history of the history of the World Championship. Only missed out on one in 1 year. That was, I think, 1980. 1980, the San Marino, not San Marino, the Imola circuit, which is near San Marino, hosted its first Grand Prix, but it was actually the Italian Grand Prix. It wasn't the San Marino Grand Prix. I don't know why Monza didn't hold a race in 1980. But it didn't for some reason, and Imola stepped in, and Imola was so successful that they decided to give it its own Grand Prix. But they couldn't call it the Italian Grand Prix because there was already an Italian Grand Prix, so they named it after the nearby Principality of San Marino. It's not actually in San Marino. That's how the San Marino Grand Prix was born. There's been a San Marino Grand Prix the last 2 years, isn't there? It's come back, but you're not allowed to call it the San Marino Grand Prix for some reason. I forget the name of it now, but you're not allowed to call it San Marino. No idea why. Politics. But yeah, Monza has hosted a Grand Prix every year since 1950, apart from 1980, because it hosted the Italian Grand Prix in 2020, didn't it? I think. Yeah, despite COVID, I'm sure it did. Oh dear. Right, 2 Mercedes here, way in front of the 2 Red Bulls. But I like the fact that Bottas is making a fight of it here. There are parts of the circuit where he's quicker. There are parts of the circuit where I'm quicker. On lap 5 out of 13 already. I think I'm close enough now, as long as I can get these, I could have gone up the inside maybe there. As long as I can get these 2 corners that are coming up correct. I nearly lost it sideways there. I remember Ayrton Senna retired 1989, wasn't it, in one of these corners just here, whilst out in front, whilst leading. That was the story of 1989. Senna way out front, and then something going wrong with his car. That's how Prost was able to win the championship that year. Previous year, 1988, Prost and Senna were pretty much on an even par. Senna won the championship, but they were pretty much level, I would say, on how they drove. But in 1989, it was total domination by Senna, and yet Prost won the championship easily because of all the retirements that Senna had, just like Mansell had in 1987 against Piquet. I can't wait till this new season starts. The new cars. The last time we had really beautiful looking, perfect looking cars was when the 1989 season started, and there were lots of rule changes, and the cars looked totally different from 1988, and they looked so nice. And for about 3 years they looked really, really good. Look at that puff of gravel behind me. Yeah, 89, 90, 91, cars looked beautiful in those years. They've never looked as good since, but I'm hoping this year they'll look just as impressive. It's lucky I didn't go off back then on the gravel. A pit window, okay. Of course, it's current cars I'm racing with, isn't it? So I have to have a pit stop. I think I'll obviously come in next lap, I think. When I'm racing the classic cars, I don't have to stop. Okay, let's take it easy around here. Oh dear. These gravel traps, they scare me. Yeah, as I say, I went off. I was racing my son and we were absolutely right next to each other. Halfway through the race, it looked like I was finally going to beat him. And I just touched the gravel there, just with one wheel. Spun me around. That was the end of that. I didn't talk to him for weeks. I'm joking, of course. Okay, let's go into the pits. Stopping before Bottas, trying to do the undercut. See if I can avoid what happened to Hamilton in last year's Italian Grand Prix. Was it him coming out of the pits, or was it Verstappen coming? I think it was Verstappen coming out of the pits, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was. Okay, got to make sure I don't drive into the back of Russell. He's in a Williams, so I might do. I'm in 8th place at the moment. Oh dear, so scared of that gravel trap that I was almost climbing the trees on the inside of the track there, just to get away from the gravel. Am I going to be able to get up the inside? I don't think so, not through here. So that little message came up. Was that saying Bottas was in the pits? Probably was. Now, is Russell going to cut across into the pits? I've got to be careful here. Yeah, he is. That could have ended in disaster. So is that Bottas ahead of me? It is. Only just ahead. Nearly got the undercut. Lap 9 of 13 already. I'd love to go to the Monza Grand Prix. Have a Grand Prix in a nice hot country. What could be better? Whereas I don't find the thought of going to Spa particularly appealing. The weather has to be nice to make me want to go to the Grand Prix. How are my tyres doing? doing very well. Yeah, very little tyre wear there. Maybe Monza is known for having not much tyre wear, I'm not sure. But yeah, certainly not much tyre wear at the moment. Ooh, ran deep there. I'm playing this game on a PC. Any gaming that I do on a PC. But I'm using an Xbox controller. Come on. I can win this. Just got to be a bit braver when I get closer to Bottas. Okay. Oh. Got 3 laps left at the end of this one to get past him. Verstappen's a lot closer now. He's well clear of Albon. Oh, I could have. Wasn't brave. Oh, wasn't brave enough there. Got very close. I don't know whether I tagged him slightly, but that's given him a bit of breathing space. Yeah, Verstappen's quite close. Not all that far behind at all. There he is. Glimpse of him in the background. Behind me there. Now, these are called the Ascari bends, aren't they, I think? That little sort of like a series of bends there is where there was previously a corner where Alberto Ascari was killed in a doing a bit of practice in his friend's sports car, Ferrari sports car. So he wasn't killed at a Grand Prix. There was a bit of testing. Right. Oh, dear me. Oh no, I messed up there, didn't I? Oh my word. I haven't been penalised for going across the chicane there, strangely. Okay. I'm going to go for it in a moment. I'm going to launch a savage attack on Bottas. Strangely, I've not incurred a penalty for going off just then. I obviously didn't gain an advantage, so I think that's why. Right, I reckon I've got him now. I reckon I've got him. This is where I can do it. This is where I can do it. This is where I can do it. Oh, yes. Goodbye, Bottas. He's a long way behind as well. He must have really backed off there as I took him. Unfortunately, you can't see replays. Well, you can actually. But I don't want to mess around trying to do that right now. That'd be a bit risky. Okay, last lap this is. And I'm going to win the race. It's going to be the first race that I've recorded on YouTube that I've won, which is good. I'm in a Mercedes, of course. Should have made it a little bit easier. There we are. Victory. I'm so chuffed. I'm so proud. Couldn't have done it without my team. Couldn't have done it without my Xbox controller. Toto's very happy. Look, it's very happy. There we are. Okay, I think I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to subscribe, please do so. Lots of videos, lots of different subjects. And I will catch you on the next video. Thank you and goodbye.